is growing your holiday sales with international shipping. As we'll find out, the international market is a huge opportunity for e-commerce sellers to grow your sales. But since shipping overseas involves customs forms, product restrictions, and different currencies, many sellers get scared away from this profitable market. To help simplify the international shipping process, we're really excited to have USPS shipping expert Frank Cebello present today. Frank is the Executive Director of Global Business Management at the U.S. Postal Service. He's been in the international shipping industry for 25 years, and he's got a ton of good data and advice to share with us today. Before we hand over the controls to Frank, I wanted to quickly cover some housekeeping items. After the presentation, we'll have about 10 to 15 minutes for Q&A. If you have any questions, please type them in the question box. Also, this webinar is being recorded, and a link to the recording will be sent out in a follow-up email. We'll also be posting the webinar in our Stamps.com YouTube page. And lastly, if you're having any type of audio problems and you're using your computer, we suggest using the call-in number on your invite email. And if you're having any audio problems on the phone, you may want to hang up and try calling in again. But before we get started, we wanted to run a quick poll to find out how many of you are currently shipping to international locations. You can see the answers here are yes, yes, but only to a few countries, no, and then not yet, but you want to get started soon. So let's leave this open for a few more seconds here, and I'm going to show the answers. Looks like a lot of you are definitely are shipping internationally, which is great. Okay, I'm going to close it up, and let me kind of show you the results. As you can see, 49% of you said yes, plus another 37. So we're looking about roughly 86% or 85% or so are currently shipping to international countries. So that's great news. Good stuff. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let me. Okay. With that, let me hand the controls over to Frank Cebello. Frank, I'm going to give you the stage here, and you're all set. Frank, can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you
great.
hear me?
I can hear you. You sound loud and clear.
Okay.
Do you have controls of the presentation?
Are not working.
Not working, huh?
I'm trying to advance to the next slide. Hang on.
How's it looking now?
Nope.
Nothing, huh?
Hang on a second. Let me try something else.
No problem. There we go.
Okay. Now, I'm not sure if that was my mouse click that did that or my down arrow. We'll get it worked out. Don't worry. Good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to be with you today. Thank you very much for attending. First off, I'd like to thank Eric and Stamps.com for giving me the opportunity to speak with you all today. We're going to cover a couple of different things today. You know, I don't know about many of you out there, but it just seems like we just came through the holiday season, and someone tell me where 2011 has gone, because here we are right in the midst of it again with Thanksgiving coming up in 2 weeks, as well as the Christmas holidays right around the corner as well. And if any of you or your customers out there are like me, I haven't even thought about my holiday shopping yet. So we're going to go over the holiday shopping dates with you, so that you can give your customers a better idea of what they can expect in the way of service, and so that you can also plan your shipping accordingly as far as the various products that are available to you that you may want to use. A real quick overview of the international market potential, why you may want to ship with the USPS if you're not already, give you an overview of products and some of our alliances. And then I'm going to turn it over to Eric, who's going to go through online postage features for international shipping and tips on getting started with international shipping as well using Stamps.com. So with that, if you hear something in the background, it is the fire alarm here at Postal Headquarters because we are going through a fire drill right now. But I've already gotten clearance not to have to attend. All right, I'm going to try to overtalk the announcement in case it's coming through, even though I have my door closed. Here are the holiday mailing dates for the specific products that we have based on the area of the world that you're going to. Now, I'm going to go into a little bit further explanation of these products as we get into the webinar. But as you can see, depending on the area of the world that you want to ship to, these are the cutoff dates for these specific areas. If we just look at the top line as an example for Africa, our Global Express Guaranteed product, the latest you're going to want to ship that product is December the 20th. Express Mail International, December the 10th. Priority Mail International, December the 2nd. And First Class Mail International is also on December the 2nd. And as you can see in looking at this chart, depending on the area of the world that you're going to, the dates for the cutoffs are different, based on the area of the world and the product that you're shipping. So again, as this is going to be made available to you, no need for you to write these down. All this information has been published by the USPS and will be available after this webinar. Now, also, a lot of you or your customers may be wanting to ship items to military personnel either here in the United States or around the globe. And so we have a series here of cutoff dates that are going to be required for mailing to military personnel. Especially at this time of the year with armed forces people away from their families at home, I'm sure you can all appreciate the importance of getting those holiday packages on time. So please keep that in mind also in looking at these dates and making decisions on the types of products that you will and the time frame that you need to get those products there. One thing to keep in mind too, with all APO, FPO, and DPO shipments, they do require customs documentation, even though they may not be going to foreign people that are stationed abroad. Okay. Again, I apologize if you're hearing any background alerts on our fire alarm system here. So let's take a little bit of a look at the international market. Since 2000, the global economy has grown over 42%, and this rate is expected to grow even higher as more small countries develop both technologically and economically. And the advent of the internet, while it has had some major effects on postal products as far as letter class, it has really opened up the world to product shipments and especially U.S. goods. A lot of polls that have been done recently show that people overseas love to buy American products. And so the internet has had a very, very positive effect on that. And with 95% of the world's population, and 2/3 of the world's purchasing power being outside the United States, it really gives a great market for you and your products overseas with a group of people that definitely want to buy those products. Now, at the same time, unfortunately, the dollar has declined, but what that has done is it's increased the buying power of people overseas, and so we've really seen some very, very strong exponential growth of international shipping, not just with the Postal Service, but with other carriers as well. So I guess the bottom line on this is, and from the poll, most of you are shipping internationally, but those of you who are not, there's a strong possibility that you're leaving some strong revenues on the table by not doing that. So hopefully this webinar will help you make a decision on moving forward with your international shipping. And again, this just shows how internet purchases have grown some 51% faster than domestic markets over the last several years. And with the international online market being 27% larger than the domestic market, Again, great opportunity for you to expand your businesses overseas, and the demand for U.S. Goods, continues to grow on both a business-to-business and on a business-consumer level. This next graph just kind of gives you an idea of what global e-commerce growth has looked like from 2009, and 2012 is actually has the potential to be much larger than this $536 billion that we see on the screen here. So again, international is definitely a booming market for both yourselves as well as other U.S. businesses. Now, for those of you who either are not shipping at this time or are wanting to ship internationally, there are several resources that are available to you to assist you in developing a business plan and establishing an overseas presence. I think it's interesting that only 1% of U.S. businesses actually ship internationally, and 58% of that 1% who do ship internationally only ship to one country. And because Canada is our largest trading partner and at our northern border, most of those shipments are actually going into Canada, which is a strong market for us. But there's a whole lot of other customers out there waiting for you. There are several federal programs that are set up to assist U.S. businesses: the Export-Import Bank of the United States, the Small Business Administration, as well as U.S. Commercial Service. We actually have a partnership with U.S. Commercial Services, and they have a landing page for USPS customers that will allow you to go in and have a whole system of resources available to you that includes a lot of research, that includes outreach programs. They can give you statistical information based on the type of business that you have, as far as the viability of which countries and which markets are really expanding depending on what products or goods and services that you're selling. So I would urge you that whether you are currently shipping to one or a small handful of countries and are considering expanding, that the U.S. Commercial Service is an excellent resource to help you research. They will even go as far as to hook you up with potential customers and clients in those overseas markets as well. So it's a really, really good resource for you. Now, obviously, we as the U.S. Postal Service, we figure that we have an entire range of products to help you in that expansion overseas, to acquire customers, fulfill orders, retain and serve your customers, as well as do some international reply services to personalize how you treat those customers as well. And today we want to focus on how we fulfill those orders, and we're going to talk specifically about our package services today. Now, depending on who you talk to, most of the time it's our competitors. They talk about the fact that we don't really have a global network and that we can't really offer the world to you as we do. But that is not true. We are part of the Universal Postal Union, which is made up of over 190 foreign posts around the world that establish standards and practices for the movement of mail and packages around the world. An enhancement to that is what we do with a lot of our major country partners is we form bilateral agreements, which are basically contracts that go above and beyond the requirements of the UPU, and oftentimes standards for delivery performance, scanning performance, and timely service are all part of these bilateral agreements. Now, again, we hold these with our major trading partners, and when you look at the fact that roughly 80% of our international volume transits to the top 20 markets around the world, we've pretty much got the world covered through these bilateral agreements. We also have a partnership with FedEx for our Global Express Guaranteed product, which I'll talk to you about a little bit further. And again, just expands our presence and gives you an extra level of service in special situations like holiday mailings. Two additional groups that we're part of are what we call the Kahala Post Group, or KPG, which is an alliance with the foreign posts for our Express Mail International service, and EPG, which is made up of 21 European posts to handle our Priority Mail International and Express Mail into the Western European market as well. So again, these enhanced alliances that we have all are based around what we call a pay-for-performance metrics, in that the posts that are part of these alliances have to meet certain standards for on-time delivery performance, as well as providing detailed information that you require when it comes to the way of tracking and tracing our products. Now, to go through our packaged products real quickly, I want to explain a little bit more about them. The first one that I was mentioning is our alliance with FedEx, which is our Global Express Guaranteed service. This is our fastest service that we offer. Again, it's in partnership with FedEx. It offers extreme reliability. Currently, this product is available at the retail counter of a post office, as well as through our Click and Ship product. What we do is we take those products, we hand them off to FedEx, and they deliver them in a priority fashion of 1 to 3 days anywhere in the world. So I'm sure you can see that as you get closer to the holiday mailing times and those cutoff times that we were talking about earlier, this may be a product that you want to consider. What I like to call the Cadillac or the Mercedes, depending on if you prefer foreign or American, product that we have is our Express Mail International service. This service is available and, you know, really serves a variety of industries out there, especially in the e-commerce industry. The product is extremely reliable. It's very, very price competitive. And especially when you're talking about e-commerce shipments, one of the big issues in the e-commerce industry is what happens at the other end if you're sending a package to somebody and they refuse the delivery at the other end for whatever reason. Express Mail International does offer a free return of undeliverable packages. And, you know, again, those of you who are doing a lot of e-commerce business out there know that if you're using a competitive product of one of our competitors and that product has to be returned, oftentimes those shipping costs are greater than what they were when you were initially sending out the product. This product is fully trackable. I will put this tracking up against any tracking that a competitor can offer you. There is insurance available. And another nice thing about using the postal system and the postal network is that the harmonized tariff codes, or the HTS codes, are not required on the documentation that you provide us, nor is the country of origin. And those are also required on commercial invoices with the commercial carriers. So this, again, is a little bit more convenience for you. Our next package product is Priority Mail International. Now, I would challenge anybody on the phone who hasn't seen one of our Priority Mail commercials. Obviously, Priority Mail is our premier domestic product. We also have the Priority Mail International, which again services a variety of industries. It is a very unique product in that our competition does not have a product that is similar to ours. The transit time for Priority Mail International is 6 to 10 business days. There is a built-in indemnity as opposed to insurance that's based on the weight, and I have a chart that I'll show you next that explains how that works a little bit. And again, just like with our Express Mail International, there's no harmonized tariff codes required or country of origin, and this product is also tracked as well. what I was saying earlier regarding indemnity for Priority Mail International is this is automatic coverage that your parcel will receive that's based on the weight. And as this chart shows you, if you've got a 10-pound shipment, you're automatically covered in indemnity for $92.69, so additional insurance is not required. And this is particularly good if you're shipping low-value items and things like that. And you can purchase additional insurance through our partners like Stamps.com as well. And again, I do want to stress the fact that we have very, very good tracking of our products, especially the Express Mail International. This is an example here on your screen of an Express Mail shipment that was going to Japan. And you can see the detailed results underneath there as far as the number of scans that an Express Mail International piece can provide you. I bring this up because one of the common objections that I hear when I sit in front of a customer is, well, I hear you don't track. Well, yes, we do track. We track both Express Mail International and Priority Mail International. Priority Mail International tracking is almost the same as Express Mail International. There aren't as many scan points as Express Mail International, but you do get several of these scans, and you do get a delivery confirmation once that parcel is received overseas. So anytime if you've got your friendly competitive partner in there and you're talking about the Postal Service, they're probably going to say, yeah, but they don't have any tracking. Well, yes, we do, and you can tell them that you do. And those of you out there that use our services know that we do. If we look at each of our package products in relation to the competition, you can see across the top our Global Express Guaranteed, Express Mail International, and Priority Mail International in relation to the competitive products that are out there. All of our competitors have excellent services. They absolutely do. We seem to think that our service is just as good when it comes to the Global Express Guarantee and especially the Express Mail International. And as you can see, they really don't have a product that competes with Priority Mail International. Priority Mail International is a very, very cost-effective service. And if your customers are willing to save a few extra dollars, Priority Mail International is a way that you're definitely going to want to go with your shipments. As we get closer to the holiday times, though, you may want to talk to your customers about Express Mail International, considering it's a 3 to 5 day service, and the cutoffs are a little bit later for those late holiday shoppers that you're talking to. A major difference also with our services versus our competitors is surcharges. We do not have fuel surcharges. We do not charge dimensional weight surcharges. We do not charge residential charges on any of our domestic or international products. And those of you that are used to using our competitors know that those surcharges can really add to your shipping costs and additional costs to your customers overseas. So we feel we've got the answer for you. If you're looking for an answer, we've got it. We do have a full global delivery network with our partners in the UPU and our bilateral agreements, as well as the other alliances that we have. You have visibility through tracking for the products that we offer. You do get good customer service. You have the option for flat rate boxes and flat rate envelopes. There are no surcharges, so you don't have to budget for them, and you don't have to kind of guesswork, and every time you send a different size box, it's going to cost you a little bit extra using a competitor of ours. And we also have greater opportunities for you to save through use of our partners like Stamps.com and the discounts that are available to them. We do also offer commercial contracts for larger shippers who can commit to certain amounts of annual volume. We can get even greater discounts than what is available to you online. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Eric. Eric, thanks very much for the opportunity, and take it away.
All right, thanks, Frank. Great stuff. My name is Eric Nash, and I work for Stamps.com. I'll be handling the online postage segment of today's webinar. We'll be discussing some of the ways online postage can simplify our international shipping program, and then we'll also be talking about some international shipping tips for you to get started. But before we get started, I wanted to ask another poll question. Get that up here. So many of you guys did mention you were shipping internationally. We want to find out what type of mail classes are you using. And the options are express mail, priority mail, first class mail, international, a mixture of all of those above, or you're using other carriers. We'll just leave a couple more seconds here. Looks like lots of you are using first class and priority. Get a few more people here, and we'll close up the poll. All right, let's close it, and then let me share with you the results so you can see what everybody's using. All right, there you go. Looks like 7% are using Express Mail International, good mix of Priority Mail and First Class Mail International, and also a good mix of everybody using all three. So that's good stuff.
Yeah, good information, Eric.
Yeah, okay. So let me get that closed up here. And we'll get on to our online postage segment. All right, well, to start out, I wanted to briefly describe what online postage is and give you some background on Stamps.com. Online postage software allows you to buy and print USPS postage from your computer. There's no hardware needed. All you need is your PC, an internet connection, and then a printer. You can print all USPS mail classes. You can print them onto stamps, envelopes, plain paper, adhesive shipping labels, and you can do that using a regular printer or a thermal printer. And you can see some examples here at the bottom of the screen. For some background on Stamps.com, we started back in 1998, and we were the first company to be approved for PC postage from the USPS. We're the largest PC postage provider with over 400,000 customers doing over 300 million postage transactions per year. 40,000 of those, or roughly 10%, of those customers are e-commerce sellers just like you. We're based here in Los Angeles. We have over 200 employees in our LA headquarters, and that includes 120 our tech support reps that are here based in our LA headquarters. Okay, the first benefit of online postage I wanted to discuss involves saving money. And when you print postage online, you get access to a number of special rate discounts. You can see the discount rates on the screen here. They include rate discounts for express mail, priority mail, first class parcels, as well as international mail. Also, online postage offers other benefits like free delivery confirmation with priority mail, discount on package insurance, scan forms, which are a great option to alert all of your buyers that their packages entered the mail stream. And you also get access to priority mail regional rate boxes, as well as many other features to help you save money. Another huge benefit that Stamps.com and online postage software offers is the ability to import order data from a number of different data sources, such as eBay, Amazon, PayPal, a shopping cart, your own shopping cart that you're using from your site, XML files, or an ODBC connection. By importing the data, this process basically really can save you a ton of time and speed up your shipping label program. To connect your Stamps.com account to the data sources is really an easy process. And once your account is connected, you only need to click a refresh button, one button, to pull in all of your new orders. And by importing data, basically what Stamps.com is becoming is a shipping label management system. And it allows you to batch print all of your day's orders, or maybe afternoon orders or morning orders, but you're able to batch print them by channel or product. So if you're doing channel, you can process all of your eBay orders at once, and then drop down to your Amazon orders, and then all of your own site's orders. Or if you want to do it by product, you can cover all three of those channels, whether it be eBay, Amazon, and your own site, and just do it by blue widgets or red widgets. Or even in the international side, you may want to process all of a particular country's orders at the same time. So data integration really helps you speed up the whole process. Along with importing the the data, the delivery address data, Stamps.com also posts back the delivery confirmation numbers to the data source. This picture on the right here is an example of Stamps.com posting delivery confirmation numbers back to an eBay account. And by allowing the DC number to be posted back, you'll save a ton of time, and you'll also eliminate any potential for errors that might occur with cut and paste. And as you can see, Stamps.com is integrated with Google Checkout, with Amazon, eBay, Yahoo stores. We've just launched a new integration with Etsy. So all of these channels can be imported into your Stamps.com account for a $15.99 fee, monthly fee, and then you'll be able to really manage all those different channels from one program. Okay, so let's talk about how online postage software and Stamps.com can make your international shipping much easier. The first benefit is in providing visibility into the different USPS rates for each international mail class. With Stamps.com, once the delivery address is inputted into the field, you'll be able to instantly see all the international mail class options and the rates based on whatever the country is. In this example, we inputted a Berlin, Germany address, and then all the USPS international rates were instantly calculated and appear in this window below here. And as you can see, that we've expanded the scrolling window over to the right, and you see all the different rates. What this does is it lets us choose the most cost-effective shipping class for a specific product or a country. And it also gives us more than one shipping option to provide to the buyer or in our store or on eBay, and alert the buyers of what the costs are and the approximate estimated time of arrivals. The next benefit online postage offers e-commerce sellers is by making customs forms a really simple process. Many sellers can get frustrated as they don't know which customs forms to use for a particular package. Customs forms come in two different sizes. There's a long form, which is called the 2976A, and a short form called the 2976. In choosing the right form, customs form is based on the weight of your package, the value of your package, as well as the country it's going to be delivered to. And so by using online postage software and Stamps.com, the software itself will eliminate any decision making that you'll need to make. It's just going to automatically choose the correct customs forms to use. So it makes it a really simple process. Also, Stamps.com eliminates the need to do manual entry on the customs form, as it's going to import the delivery address and automatically insert that into the form. Sellers will still need to input some data, which is the country of origin, value, and whether or not the product is merchandise, a gift, or documents. But the whole process is just much more streamlined, and there's also options for you to save particular products in a customs form as a favorite using the Stamps.com software. So with just a few quick clicks, you can have your customs form printed out. Another important factor here is that Stamps.com provides an electronic round stamp. If you look over here on the right side in the red, you can see it. This round stamp allows you to hand the international package directly to your mail carrier, or you can drop it off on the post office counter, or you can even drop it off in a blue mail collection box. So this is very important because it's going to save you a ton of time. A lot of people think that with international postage you have to go and drop it off at the post office in person. And when you use online postage, that is not the case. Another benefit that online postage provides for international shipping is with country restrictions. Every country has some unique restrictions as to what they allow to be shipped in. Some countries have restrictions on gold or currency, and others have restrictions on animal byproducts. The list can be long, and it also can change based on political or public safety issues. And really, by knowing this information, the goal is going to help you to know if your product can be shipped before you start selling into a specific country. This image on the right here is from Stamps.com showing restrictions for France. As your destination address changes, say we change from France to Brazil, the country restrictions window on the Stamps.com interface will also change. So you have the ability to go in there and read and see if the product you're going to ship is prohibited from being delivered into that country. And as for some fun, we've got a little list of some odd items that can't be shipped into particular countries. And as you can see, Germany doesn't allow playing cards. Italy, clocks, shoes, toys. Mexico, jewelry, and in Canada, you can't send a pen that's valued over $5. So it's some interesting things there, but definitely good to know, because the last thing you want to do is go to ship your product and then have the customs send it back because it's not allowed, the product's not allowed into the country. Okay, we've talked about some benefits that Stamps.com can provide, but let's talk about some international shipping tips. Tip number 1 is to start selling internationally. As Frank mentioned, the international e-commerce market is huge, and it appears to only be getting bigger. It really is an easy method for you to grow your sales with relatively low risk. International buyers, they want U.S. products, and buying directly from the source is usually going to be cheaper for them than buying from a retailer in their own country. And oftentimes, that particular product's not even available in their own country. So one simple method to get started with international shipping is just to start with the main English-speaking countries, such as Canada, the UK, and Australia. These 3 countries represent 48% here, as you can see in the chart, of the entire international e-commerce market. The good news is that communication with these buyers is going to be easy since English is the main language. And also, all of these countries have good internet coverage, usually with broadband. They also have established postal systems, and then payment solutions also, like credit cards or PayPal, already established. And if you're nervous to get started, don't forget you can always buy package insurance for your international shipments. It's fairly cheap, and it's going to offer good peace of mind to get you started. Tip number 2 is for sellers who have low-value products. If you sell these types of items, you need to consider using first-class mail international. This mail class helps buyers basically avoid purchasing a $15 item, say, on eBay, and then paying $27 or more for shipping. And in the chart here in the bottom right, you can see the cost savings that First Class Mail International offers for a 1-pound package going from the U.S. to France. At $11.39 for First Class Mail International, the savings are huge compared to their mail classes. And as you can see, the other carriers like FedEx and UPS really aren't even an option if they're going to be selling low-cost options or low-cost items. There is one negative aspect of First Class Mail International, however, and that is that the mail class does not have any form of tracking. So if your buyer claims that he or she never received the product, it's going to need to be cheaper for you just to send a second package, maybe at a higher mail class with tracking, than to investigate where the package ended up. But of course, with First Class Mail International, you still can add package insurance. Our last international shipment tip is a great resource from the USPS. They have a web page called the International Service Updates, and the page includes info on all the current mailing conditions worldwide. I believe the page is updated daily and at least weekly. There are a ton of different issues going around the world every day. There's labor. We just had a labor strike with the Canadian Postal Union back in June, where potential natural disasters occur, like the tsunami in Japan back in March. With any of these types of issues, mail delivery can be disrupted and slow down considerably. And so by looking at this web page, you're able to find a particular country and find out if your country that you're shipping into is having any types of problems or delays. And if you do see it, it gives you the ability to then contact your buyer and say, hey, looks like there's a problem that's occurring in the package is going to be delayed, due to events that are out of your control, you being the seller. To find this page, you can just Google USPS International Service Updates or any variation of that, and it's usually going to be the first page that you'll see that pops up. Lastly, I want to let everyone know about some free shipping guides that Stamps.com offers. We just published a new holiday shipping survival guide that contains a collection of best shipping practices and important deadlines to remember for this holiday season. And then we also have the Priority Mail Rate Guide. And this compares costs between Priority Mail Flat Rate, and Priority Mail Regional Rates. It's basically a big table. It has the weight on the left side and then the zones on the top, and it gives you the lowest cost option for Priority Mail. We've had a ton of good feedback, and this particular chart really will possibly open up your eyes to some real good cost savings by using different types of Priority Mail. This is only for domestic, however. We'll include we're going to send out a follow-up email, and we'll include these links in the follow-up email. Okay, that's the end of my online postage presentation. Now let's open it up for some questions here. Let me take a look here, Frank, and see what we got.
Yeah, we got quite a few. And it looks like a lot of them are directed at you, so go for it.
All right, all right. Let me see. I have one here that I saw earlier, and I wanted to ask you here. And it's a gentleman by the name of Chocolate. He was asking, why are there two types of customs forms, the long form and the short form? And he wanted to know if the USPS will ever just consolidate into one customs form.
Well, the customs forms, are based on products. We've got the 2976 and the 2976A. One of them is for documents, and one of them is for packages. So that's the reason why we have the two different forms. The UPU has established it that way, so that's the way we're doing it. I don't know about, we are looking at trying to find a means of going more electronic with the customs information. So hopefully somewhere down the line we'll be able to be more digital when it comes to that customs information.
Very nice. Okay, I see a question here from Elaine. She's asking about Stamps.com insurance and the cost of postage being covered. Elaine, right now, the cost of postage using our Stamps.com insurance for international shipments is not covered, unfortunately. We're working with our insurance carrier, which is PIP Insurance, to get that corrected. But and we'll definitely let you know, and all of our customers know that when that's going to be fixed. But right now, unfortunately, it's not covered. Frank, here's maybe another one for you. This person, Elaine's asking another question. She wants to know which international shipping method provides delivery confirmation to conform to PayPal's requirements. And I think that basically just means having a delivery confirmation number.
Right, right. Both the Priority Mail International and the Express Mail International products, do provide the necessary information and documentation that works for PayPal. Especially for like the eBay community and things like that.
Gotcha. It looks like Shirley's got a good question for you here. She says that even though I use Priority Mail International when shipping abroad, the tracking often doesn't get scanned once it leaves the country. Probably she sees the exit point of the U.S. Mm-hmm. How exactly does that work?
Well, again, depending on the country of destination and the product that you're shipping is going to, depend on the amount of scanning that you get. Now, I see her question, and she mentions the UK, Australia, Russia, and Canada. If it were me, I would only ship Express Mail International to Russia. They seem to handle Express Mail International much better from a scanning and delivery standpoint, and so that would be a suggestion I would make there. We have had a few scanning issues with Australia, only because that over the course of the last month or so, 2 months, they have gone through a series of customs strikes. That kind of roll throughout the country. So unfortunately, that scanning performance has not been as great. But Australia is, again, part of the KPG Alliance. So You're always going to get scanning with Express Mail International. Parcels, more often than not, when I hear a complaint from a customer about scanning, it's in relation to Priority Mail International, because parcels are just are not handled in the same method. They should be getting all the scanning, and in most cases they do. Our scanning percentages from all of the data that we receive from the UPU for our Priority Mail International product are very good, but you do get those, there are some countries and you do get those times during which the scanning is not necessarily what it should be. That's why I strongly recommend our Express Mail International product because it's a much better head-to-head product against our competition. It's still priced less, so you're still going to have savings, and you're going to get the enhanced tracking that you don't get with Priority Mail International. But the only thing that I could recommend, Shirley, is that when you do have a Priority Mail package that you can't get any information on, is that you call our international call center and let them run a query on it for you. Our internal systems have a tendency sometimes to have more data than the ones that we make available through USPS.com, just because we have some enhanced tools as part of ours.
Very interesting. Got a couple questions here. Looks like I can answer. One asks about can Stamps.com import addresses from QuickBooks? From Jeff. Jeff, Stamps.com definitely can import addresses from QuickBooks. We have a plugin, and with that plugin you can actually buy and print postage directly inside QuickBooks for all USPS mail classes. Also, Sammy's asking why there's no post-back of delivery confirmation for PayPal. Sammy, that has to do with the API that we're using with PayPal currently. Unfortunately, we have not found a fix for that, but we certainly are working on it because we would love to be able to post back delivery confirmation to PayPal sellers. And by the way, a lot of Etsy sellers use PayPal currently, and we do have a brand new integration with Etsy. So if you're an Etsy seller out there, take a look at download our version 9.0, and you should see Etsy as an option in there to import data. Tracy's asking about data integration with Stamps.com software, and she's asking does that leave out Mac users. Right now, Tracy, you do have to have the Stamps.com software to use to be able to import data. Our web-based program did just get released earlier this year for Mac users. Our goal is to mimic all the features from the software into the web-based version, including the batch integrations. So I don't have an ETA on that, but I would expect sometime in 2012 you should see that, and Mac users will be able to have all the, or PC users for that matter, will be able to do batch importing via the web-based program.
There's a question here from Elaine. It says, international buyers seem to be taking advantage of packages without tracking and claiming they never received. So you have a suggestion or a solution? Yes, and that would be to call call our call center. Because the way our package products work, if a package is delivered overseas and they do not provide the signature, they basically don't get paid for that delivery. So again, if you've got a customer that is claiming that they never receive it, before you immediately go and send a replacement shipment, talk to our call center because they will send an inquiry to the country. And if that package has indeed been delivered, you will get that information. It may not be immediate. It may take them a little bit of time to get that information back from the foreign post. But that's definitely an avenue that you should pursue.
Frank, I've got a question here from Zalman. He's asking about tracking numbers on First Class Mail International and clarity on what I had said earlier. And Zalman, that what's happening if you're using one of the marketplaces is Stamps.com will post back the customs form number into, say, eBay or Amazon with First Class Mail International. But First Class Mail International does not have a delivery confirmation service, unfortunately. And Elaine is asking about the round stamp. Well, I'm sorry, it looks like Pat's asking about the round stamp on customs forms, and where is it an extra cost, and where do they find it? Pat, that so basically when you print on a customs form via online postage, the software automatically inserts that round stamp. It's in the bottom right corner. So whenever you print postage for an international destination, the customs form will automatically print that. So there's no extra charge or nothing special you need to do. Just as you print customs forms, it automatically comes out. Hey, Frank, I got a question here from you from Judd wants to know who actually looks at the customs forms, and what is the status of often buyers ask them about placing gift as a type of merchandise versus a merchandise or an actual item in the customs form.
Can you read that question again?
Sure. He's actually asking who actually looks at a customs form on its delivery? Is it like U.S. Customs or the international inbound country? And then he also has commonly gets requests from international buyers to place gift on the customs form versus merchandise.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, the customs forms are looked at both by U.S. Customs as well as foreign customs. And the duties and taxes are assessed in the foreign country based on what is on the customs form. I know that you probably get requests from customers that say, we'll call it a gift, because they tend to be a little bit more lenient on duties and taxes for gifts. But I would always recommend that you be honest about the contents of the package, because you know, if by some chance Customs decides to do an inspection and they see an invoice in there and this, that, and the other thing, they're going to know it's not a gift, and then they may confiscate it.
Yes. Here's a question from Job. They're asking about what does the shipping insurance cover when shipping first-class mail international? It basically covers the product cost. So if you're sending a $15 item, by adding package insurance, it's going to cover that $15 product cost, or say $25, or whatever the product value is. Mm-hmm. Here's Noel's asking a question for you, Frank, is will there ever be tracking available for first-class mail international?
Oh, let me just say that we are working on something that we hope to have available to the market, probably not in calendar year 12, but potentially in 13. And don't hold me to it. It is something that we are, you know, looking at the feasibility of providing for basically letter class products or packets, and having a delivery confirmation as part of that solution. We are hopefully going to roll something out in January through our postal qualified wholesalers for some of the very, very large e-tailing community that would kind of like be the test for this service to see how it goes. And if it's successful, then we would hope to be able to roll it out to all customers, hopefully sometime in 2013.
That would be many eBay sellers and Amazon sellers and e-commerce stores would be very excited to hear that product come out. Absolutely, absolutely. Looks like Abe is asking a question on where he can see restrictions before actually receiving an order. Abe, certainly in the Stamps.com software, once your delivery address is in there, you'll be able to see it. In this example, it sounds like you want to know before the actual order actually comes in. I believe there's a page somewhere on the USPS that lists all the different restrictions for each country. Frank, I'm not sure if you know that or not, but I think I've seen that someplace, and certainly we can find it for you.
Yeah, on the USPS website, you can do a search for the International Mail Manual, the IMM, and you can go into the IMM, and they'll have a whole menu of things that you can look up for each specific country, including restricted items, size and weight limitations, and things like that. It's a really, really valuable tool, and I would encourage you to definitely take a look at it and refer to that. I've got a question here from Ronnie. It says, are shipping rates the same no matter where in the specific country the package is shipped? Yes, absolutely. And again, that's one of the advantages of using the Postal Service as opposed to one of our commercial competitors. You know, having been on that side of the fence, so to speak, in the commercial sector, you know, if you're shipping to, let's say you're shipping to France and you're shipping to Paris, the rate that they quote you on the sheet is what you get. But if you're going 100 miles outside of Paris, out in the countryside somewhere, you're going to get a hit with either an out-of-delivery area surcharge, or you're going to get a residential surcharge in using our competitors. You don't have any of those with us. So we just look at France as all of France, or we look at Germany as all of Germany, or we look at Australia as all of Australia. So it's the same. It's the one price, and there's no add-ons to it.
Frank, here's a good question from Beth for you. She said she just sent a priority package to Italy, and it was stuck in the customs for a month. And she wants to know, is there any way to determine the customs time limit or time that the package would stay in customs before sending the package?
There really isn't. Italy is one of those countries that is notorious for customs delays, and whether you're using the post or whether you're using a commercial carrier. The reasons why something is delayed in customs vary. It could be the value of the goods. It could be that perhaps, depending on the product, it could require some import fee, license, or something of that nature. It could also be, too, that customs requires some additional information from the receiver. And oftentimes what we found is delays in customs are actually a result of the person who's actually receiving the package not providing the information back to customs in a timely fashion, too. Now, that's not always the case, but it does happen. You know, unfortunately, customs is one of those things that no one can really predict. And it's interesting, too, in that you can ship one day to Italy and get an express mail package delivered in 4 days, and ship the exact same item a week later, and it could be in customs for an additional 4 days or 5 days. There's just no way of knowing. It just depends on how closely the customs agents who are, you know, working at the time are scrutinizing the packages that are coming in.
I see Avis has a question about does he need a color printer for printing customs forms? And Avis, that's you definitely do not need a color printer. In fact, if you're using the short form 2976, you can use your a thermal printer even on an adhesive label. I know someone else had asked about Magento. Arnie had asked about if Stamps.com is integrated with Magento. And yes, we are. We absolutely have an integration with Magento. You should be able to see that in the batch interface. And with that question, I think, Frank, it's 12:01, so I think we're probably out of time. Any questions in here that were unanswered, we'll respond to via email here in the next 24 hours. And again, everybody should receive a follow-up email that will contain links to some of the items we mentioned today, as well as the recording. We hope everybody found today's information on international shipping very helpful, and certainly for us and everybody here at Stamps.com, we really want to thank Frank for taking the time out and joining us today. Frank, it was great stuff.
Eric, thank you very much for the invitation. Yeah, there are a lot of questions here, and I want to thank everybody for their participation. Like Eric said, we will get these answers out and answer everyone that we can for you, absolutely. And I just want to wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving and a wonderful holiday season this year using Stamps.com and the United States Postal Service.
Awesome, Frank. Thanks a lot, everybody, for joining us, and we'll see you soon. Thanks again.